you graduated in the last 2 to 3 years, or you're about to, and you're starting to see that something feels off, the job market is kind of struggling, you're not getting responses to even internship requests, forget a full-time opportunity. It seems like everybody's just kind of ghosting you. Entry level roles completely almost feel like they don't exist anymore, although there's a lot of postings, so you wonder if they're even real. So if this is happening, first of all, you're not crazy. And this is definitely not because you're not good enough. There was a recent report that came out from the Institute of Corporate Productivity, or I4CP for short, and they really just showed this significant drop of employment for early career workers aged 22 to 25, especially with this whole AI job market that's happening right now. And so I'm looking at the report now, and we're seeing the software development, customer service, financial analysis, the roles that used to be like super launch pad careers for a lot of young graduates, right? These are the things that are most impacted. And we even have companies like Randstad, for example, like they're basically saying that yes, the jobs that used to be open for entry-level financial services roles are down 24% because of AI, because we can actually use AI to do some of those. Goldman Sachs also had an internal hiring freeze into 2025 because they were like, hey, we just kind of want to see what's going to happen with AI. Right? Partner Business Review described AI as dismantling the traditional hiring model, which relied largely on classes of junior associates. So the cohorts are just getting smaller, the roles are being completely redesigned. And then on top of that, of course, we have all these AI things coming in, and companies are just kind of waiting and seeing what's going to happen. At the same time, you have a lot of CEOs saying like, oh, we need to invest in young talent. And if we don't invest in young talent, we're really not going to have a solid pipeline for talent. So there's a lot of confusion. It seems like there's a lot of weight, but at the same time, companies are complaining, well, we don't have enough talent coming in. And at the same time, they're not really spending time to offer internships or apprenticeships or mentorship programs to actually get some of these young people up to speed. Anyway, that's just an opinion, and it's just like an observation that I see. We can't do anything about that. And as you know, I like to keep it real, and we want to focus on what we can control. And here's some things that you can actually do, especially early career professionals. So the first thing you can do is prioritize experience over everything. I still see a lot of young people, like graduates or those looking for internships during their school experience, going for these big companies, big names, which is more competitive. So there are less opportunities in those larger companies because it is more competitive to get in. Instead, maybe look at medium to, small and medium sized companies that a lot of people probably overlook, but they'll be the ones that can actually give you the opportunity. It's less competitive. And you don't have to stay there for too long. You can do an internship gig, then move on, do something else. You stay for a year. If you've already graduated, stay there for a year, gain that experience, and then you can move on. You want to get as much exposure and as much experience as you can in your earlier careers, because it will really tighten that muscle of resilience, of learning, of just being a sponge that's learning, that's getting exposure to all these different problems that you might be solving through these experiences, right? And also expanding your network. This might be an obvious one, but treat AI as a tool you're going to use right now. So don't wait to get into a company to actually start learning about AI. There's so many free courses, whether it's through IBM or Google, just to name a couple of companies. There's so many free AI courses about how to maximize your own productivity and efficiency using AI tools in different spaces. You can do this for your creative work. You can do this for some problem solving and so on. So really get really good at using AI, not just simple ChatGPT prompts. I'm talking like real application of AI, so that you actually walk into the workplace being ready to use it and showcasing during the interview process of how you actually been already playing around with it. The final thing you can do, and the most important one, and I know I will continue to talk about until I'm blue in the face, but build your professional network. And what I mean by that is that the one thing that AI cannot take from you is your reputation, your personal brand, the networks you have, the relationships you build, you being of value to others. I cannot speak on this enough. AI cannot replicate that. It cannot replicate your relational intelligence, that social intelligence. So double down on that. These kind of early investment careers compound, and they're the ones that are going to give you the most on return of your investment. So the job market might not be the friendliest to job seekers, let alone early career professionals. But the three things that we discussed today, which is really doubling down on experience, getting as much experience as you can. Number two, learning a skill, a tool, in this case, it being AI. And the third thing is building relationships. These three things stand the test of time. Honestly, I've seen this work in bad economies, good economies, different geographies, different industries, different levels of somebody's career. These three things will carry you forward.